Hey YouTube, it's Tiana. I wanted to make a follow-up video on my last video I created last week. As many of you know, my husband and I were trying to conceive and sadly miscarried again on June 15th. So I wanted to do a follow-up video on my doctor's visit that I had today. Actually, I'm going to do a quick catch-up for everybody first, if you didn't watch my last video. I got a positive pregnancy test on January 11th and then started bleeding on the 15th, which was just 4 days later. Started spotting, and then it continued into more of a heavier period cycle. So I pretty much knew in my head what was happening, but I needed confirmation from my doctor. But my doctor that I go to is super busy, and he was out of the office for a week, and then that next week I couldn't get in to see him until Thursday. He referred me to one of his colleagues to see him instead because I just couldn't wait any longer. I needed some answers. I've been racking my brain. It's been crazy, doing so much research, and everything has just been making me nuts. Excuse me. So I wanted to tell you how the doctor's visit went. We got in there, and he answered a whole bunch of my questions that I had. One question being about the H1N1 shot. I don't know if I mentioned it in my last video. No, I didn't mention it in my last video. But I received the H1N1 shot on the 4th of January, which was exactly a week before I got my positive pregnancy test. So I found a whole bunch of research, about, how it causes miscarriages or stillbirths when you're later in pregnancy. So I wanted to definitely ask him about that. And he said that there's nothing to worry about. That doesn't, it doesn't happen. That shots have been highly tested, and that's definitely not the reason that I miscarried. So what we did next was he went ahead and did an ultrasound for confirmation. Instead of using the probe, he did the external ultrasound, which was nice because those probes, as many of you pregnant ladies know, or if you've ever had an ultrasound for pregnancy, is not comfortable. I don't really like those things. They kind of have to push and, move it around, and it's a little bit annoying and kind of uncomfortable. So I'm glad he did it the external way. So first thing he said, which was right off the bat, he noticed my uterus is empty. So that was 100% confirmation that we did miscarry. But he wanted to go ahead and look around a little bit more, check my ovaries, and check my tubes, make sure it wasn't a tubal pregnancy, because that's definitely something they have to rule out. So he checked my tubes. It's definitely not a tubal pregnancy, or wasn't a tubal pregnancy. All my tubes look great. But when he was checking over my ovaries, he noticed that I have some cysts on my ovaries. One on my right and two on my left. But he said that they're nothing to really worry about at this point, because it's common for women, once you become pregnant, for your ovaries to have cysts on them. They're normally full of cysts anyway, but they're usually benign, and they're like a cyst factory. But he said after pregnancy or a miscarriage, you have a few that are just water filled. So what he wants me to do is, he took some measurements of those, and he wants me to come back in 2 months and have another ultrasound and make sure that they're shrinking and not getting, obviously not getting larger, and they're either shrinking or going away completely. So I have to set up an appointment for that. Let's see. Then next, once he was done with the ultrasound, he took some pictures for my files, and then he wanted to talk to me a little bit about my HCG levels. He asked me if I'd ever had them checked this pregnancy, and I told him that I hadn't, because it was so early, I never really had a chance to. So he ordered labs for that. So, I went down and did that. He wants to make sure that they're, either lowering, if they're not already at 0, that make sure that they're lowering, and, that they're below 5, which, I should know by either today or tonight or tomorrow whether or not, that's good. And if they're not low enough, then I have to go back next week and have another, have more blood taken to make sure that they're lowering the way they should be. He also wanted to know what my blood type was, and I didn't know. Not something that I really ever knew, because I've never been a person that's been in the hospital. I've never really had blood taken all that much. Never had a reason to know my blood type. So he was very concerned that I might have a negative blood type, and because of that, he wanted to check, because if I do have a negative blood type, there's something that goes on in your body that can cause miscarriages if your pregnancy is a positive blood type or some other blood type. I can't exactly remember. So there's antibodies that your body produces that actually goes in and attacks your pregnancy. So if that's the case, I have to go back and have a shot to prevent that and to prevent that from happening in my future pregnancies. He also told me that I am healthy, other than just being overweight, which is sort of a risk, but not too much. He wants me to work on that, but he says I'm not diabetic, I don't have any thyroid issues, so that's not any worry, not reason, because those would be things that could cause miscarriages. He wants us to definitely try again because according to many doctors, not just him, but they don't normally do any crazy testing on reasons why you miscarry until you've had 3 consecutive in a row without any live births in between. So he wants us to try again in a couple months, which I'm very nervous about. I don't want to go through this again. This has just been a roller coaster of emotions. It's just been absolutely crazy. So, but I guess we have to do what we have to do. So we're gonna definitely wait until a couple months till my cycles are back on track, and then we'll try again. You guys can follow my videos of my TTCing when it's time. Let's see, and then if for some reason we do miscarry again, praise the God if that doesn't happen again, because I can't go through it. It's absolutely crazy. So, but if we do, then that's when they're going to start ordering all the in-depth testing, chromosome testing, hormone testing, all of that. Make sure, they'll do some in-depth ultrasounds to make sure you don't have any kind of a crazy uterus or anything, that's going to prevent you from being able to sustain a pregnancy. So, but, they don't normally do those for one reason, is because they cost a whole heck of a lot of money. Most insurances don't cover them, and if they do cover them, they, it's only a percentage, and you still have to pay thousands of dollars out of pocket. So they try and hold off on doing that until it's absolutely necessary. So that's, we're going to wait one more time and, only do that if we absolutely have to. So, again, in 2 months, so we'll try again in 2 months. Let me see. I think I covered all the bases. Yeah, I'm healthy. There shouldn't, according to all my blood work that I had previously done, before even finding out I was pregnant, everything came back fine. So that's all great news. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to thank all my new subscribers for obviously subscribing to my channel. I will be getting lots more videos up, I promise. And then I also wanted to thank all of you out there who left such nice comments on my last video that I posted, my miscarriage part 1. It really helped keep my head up and keep my spirit strong, and knowing all of you ladies out there that have gone through this and came out on a positive end was just really great, and kind of gave me something to really look forward to, and all of that. So I really appreciate it. Let's see. I think that's it. I hope that, everybody enjoyed this video, and I will definitely, keep everybody posted on our journey. So, yeah, have a great night, and I will be talking to everybody very, very soon. Thank you. Bye.